Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into something pretty important. How can a business truly, genuinely prove it's green? Let's get right into it. You've seen it everywhere, right? All these labels, eco-friendly, sustainable, green. But honestly, in a world that's just full of marketing buzz, how do you even begin to tell what's real and what's just clever greenwashing? How do you know who's actually walking the walk? Well, it turns out there's an answer to that. A system. A really rigorous, transparent, and verified framework that's designed to do exactly that. It's basically a blueprint for any organization that wants to prove without a shadow of a doubt that they are committed to the highest environmental standards. So let's peel back the marketing layer and look at the real machinery that provides this kind of trust. It's an initiative from the European Union, and it's called EMAS. EMAS stands for the Eco-Management and Audit Scheme, and you can kind of think of it as the Michelin star of environmental management. Seriously, it's a premium voluntary tool, so you have to choose to do it, and it's available for any organization, whether you're public or private, huge or tiny, if you're serious about evaluating, reporting, and constantly improving how you impact the environment. So what is it that gives EMAS this gold standard reputation? Well, it all comes down to a few core components, a few key requirements that really set it apart from everything else. Let's take a look at the blueprint. You can boil it down to 4 key pillars that make EMAS so incredibly tough. It requires a public environmental statement, real employee involvement, fully verified legal compliance, and an absolute commitment to always getting better. Let's break each of those down. Okay, first up, transparency is completely non-negotiable. Every single organization with an EMAS registration has to publish a detailed environmental statement. And look, this is not some glossy marketing pamphlet. It's a full-on report covering their environmental impact, their policies, and their actual performance against their goals. It is all laid bare for customers, for regulators, for anyone in the community to see. Second, EMAS gets that real change isn't just a memo from the top bosses. It makes active participation from employees a mandatory part of the process. This means sustainability isn't just some policy document sitting on a shelf. It gets woven right into the fabric of the company culture. Everyone, at every single level, is part of the solution. Third, and this one is absolutely crucial for credibility, is verified compliance. An independent, accredited environmental verifier comes in and does a deep dive to make sure the organization is following every single relevant environmental law. There's no wiggle room. That third-party stamp of approval gives you this incredibly high level of certainty that the company is playing by the rules. Now, this is where you can really see EMAS pull away from the much more common ISO 14001 standard. Now, both are good, don't get me wrong, but EMAS is just tougher. It's focused on improving actual environmental performance, like, are you actually cutting emissions? Are you reducing waste? ISO 14001 is more about improving the management system. EMAS demands that public statement we talked about, ISO 14001 doesn't. And that legal compliance piece, ISO 14001 allows you to just declare it yourself, whereas EMAS makes you prove it to an independent verifier. It's these differences that really put EMAS in a class of its own. Okay, so we've established it's rigorous, it's credible, it's the real deal. But how does an organization actually get it? This is definitely not a simple box-ticking exercise. It's a very structured and methodical journey. The path to getting that EMAS logo follows 5 really clear steps. First, it kicks off with a massive environmental review, a brutally honest look at every single way the organization impacts the planet. From there, they build a formal policy and a management system with clear, measurable goals. Next, they have to audit themselves internally to see if the system is actually working. Step 4 is writing up that super important public environmental statement. And then, for the grand finale, the independent verifier comes in, checks absolutely everything, and only then can the organization get registered. The theory behind all this is impressive for sure. But where is EMAS actually making a difference out in the real world? Well, as you're about to see, its application is unbelievably diverse. And I really mean diverse. This is not a scheme that's just for, heavy industry or big factories. We are seeing it used successfully by airlines, by government agencies, by tiny local businesses, and even by art museums. The range here is just incredible. In aviation, you have the Lufthansa Group using it to boost fuel efficiency and slash onboard waste. The European Commission itself is EMAS registered, trying to lead by example. It helps small businesses, like a German stonemason, focus on local sourcing and cutting truck emissions. You see it in healthcare, with German hospitals managing their energy and water use. Even Italian hotels and resorts use EMAS as a way to stand out and attract eco-conscious tourists.
It can even be a strategic move for an entire industry. Spain's ceramic tiles sector, for example, was facing tough environmental laws and a lot of market pressure. So, what did they do? They widely adopted EMAS. This wasn't just about ticking a compliance box. It was a smart, proactive move to improve their efficiency, cut waste, and build a much stronger public image as a sustainable industry.
And it's not just private companies. Public bodies see huge value here. Just listen to this quote from the Brighton and Hove City Council in the UK. They highlight the strong focus on full legal compliance, which is verified by an independent third party. For a government body, having that guarantee is a powerful way to show its citizens, hey, we are accountable and we can prove it. And just to show you how flexible this scheme really is, get this, the Museum of Rural Life in Spain uses EMAS. It's a cultural center, not a factory, but it uses that same exact framework to systematically get better, optimizing its heating, its lighting, its paper use, even choosing greener cleaning products. It just goes to show the principles apply everywhere. Now, even though EMAS started as an EU scheme, its influence has gone global. There's a program called EMAS Global that allows organizations from way outside the EU, think Canada or Japan, to get registered and meet that same incredibly high standard. This is a game changer for multinational companies that want one single, credible environmental policy across all of their operations, no matter where they are in the world. So after digging into the mechanics and seeing all these real-world examples, let's just pull back for a second and summarize what the true value is of committing to a standard like EMAS. What's the bigger picture? So what's the bottom line here? It's about way more than just a logo. It's about building unmatched credibility through public verified reporting. It's about guaranteeing your legal compliance. It drives real, measurable gains in your performance. It gives you a competitive edge to attract the best customers, talent, and investors. And maybe, just maybe most importantly, it embeds sustainability deep into the very culture of an organization. And that leaves us with one final big question to chew on. In a world where everyone, customers, employees, investors, is demanding more transparency and more genuine action, could this voluntary premium gold standard one day become the new normal, the basic expectation for any responsible business? It's something to think about. Thanks for joining The Explainer.